Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the podcast. I'm your co-host M2 Dave. I'm here with Tom, Tom Brady, Zyphox, and Rio. Before we get started, I want to wish a happy birthday to Rio. So
Hey,
happy birthday, my friend, and hope you have.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's right.
Thank you
I
guys.
did. I didn't
happy
text you.
birthday.
I was gonna
I didn't
say.
even know it was my birthday. Thank you for reminding me.
No way.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
I never celebrate it, but thank
I
you.
wish you were happy birthday every year, and Rio's like, "Thank you." And now this year he's like, "Oh, I forgot it was my birthday."
It's like somewhere in like the beginning of April. Some
Nah,
that
April
was
Fool's.
here.
So yeah, man.
I'm
Have,
surprised
have
you
I,
remember, Dave. You stole my thunder. You're what a this guy, Dave, man, stole my intro.
I
All right,
wasn't
go ahead.
going to, I was going to text him, but I thought I would keep it up a surprise.
That's
But
fine.
guys,
Happy birthday,
I
Rio.
appreciate it. Thank you.
unfortunately, we gotta address some, I guess, drama that happened recently, and I think Rio has all the details for us because he's been following along. And let's go through the facts first before we give our opinions. Rio, it's your turn.
All right, I'm reluctant to talk about this because I think it's very petty and pointless to talk about. But since Dave wants to talk about this so much, I guess we're gonna do a podcast on it. So this is the premise. This is with the whole Mitsuownes tournament. Mitsuownes ran a tournament. This was the other day, and it was a Europe only tournament where players were playing, and there was someone by the name Prince Panther, which put up $1,000 prize money for it.
Was
So
it
the players
called?
were playing for free. It was called the Sea Initiative.
You're doing well in Wakanda, then I take it.
Yeah, so Prince Panther put in $1,000 into it, which is awesome. It was free entry for the players that got to play in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught some of the tournament because I was kind of busy that day doing some stuff. But on the side, I caught I was there from the beginning. Not like as soon as the stream started, but I was there like 15 minutes in, just lurking like I usually do when I watch people. I don't really participate in chat. I always lurk and watch the stream while I'm doing things. And Mitsuownes is doing everything by himself. He's commentating. He's running the bracket. He's switching the names. He's doing the scenes. He's doing the updating. He's making sure the players are playing. Basically, he's a one-man tournament machine. He's doing literally everything. No one's helping on the side. No one's helping him during intermission. He's doing everything by himself. And the tournament had a couple rocky moments. Like there were some times where the names weren't updated and people were like, bro, why are the names not updated? They're kind of like throwing like little pot shots and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mitsuownes kept repeating on his stream. He was like, he just wanted the players to follow one simple rule. It was like, guys, as soon as the set starts, just do not skip the intro, please. Don't skip it. He kept saying that over and over. I remember I kept hearing it. I was like, wow, Mitsuownes is really saying this a lot. He kept saying, please don't skip the intro. It's okay if you skip the intro for the second match, third match, whatever, because it's a first of 3. But the first match of the set when you guys play, just make sure that first set, the intro is not skipped because he needs this time to edit the names, to update the bracket, to make sure everything goes well so it looks like a good tournament and it doesn't look like it's sloppy and lazily. So Mitsuownes is putting as much production as he can by himself. Obviously, you can't be flawless. Sometimes you're going to mess up here and there. And the chat is kind of, they're kind of, while they're throwing like little shots here and there, it's not too bad, right? It's not like a troll spree. Like, there's always going to be trolls no matter what in every stream. So Mitsuownes then gets to one of the matches, and the players skip the match, the intro. And at this point, Mitsuownes gets kind of triggered, and he's like, dude, why'd you guys skip the match? Like, he literally starts flat out saying, like, why are you guys skipping the match? I told you guys multiple times this and that. And then this is when people are like, bro, like, what is going on? And that's when literally, like, Drama City hit the chat. That's when everything, it was just all you can eat drama buffet. People in the chat were going like, Mitsuownes, you're acting like a baby. You're very unprofessional. Like, learn how to run a tournament. Like, they're just going in. And for whatever reason, Mitsuownes was reading the chat. If I was in his position, I would not be reading the chat. I would just be focusing on the tournament, running it. The chat at that point is irrelevant because he should have mods in there that are moderating the chat. I don't know why he had to also look at the chat and moderate, but I don't blame him because he's trying to make sure everything's going smoothly. So he makes the mistake of reading the chat, and while he's doing everything, he's already kind of triggered because he wanted the players to do one thing, not skip the intro. And now he's got people in the chat attacking him. So then he starts banning people, just to kind of like, okay, you know what? Ban, whatever people are saying, they're getting banned. Some of the people he ended up banning went to Twitter and they're like, yo, I just got banned from this stream. This tournament is whack. It's unprofessional. Mitsuownes is a joke. But like, they basically brought the drama from the stream all over social media. It's over Twitter. It's spreading. It's getting retweets, favorites, spreading everywhere. Then everyone starts blowing up his phone during this match. he's getting added at. He's getting added at. People are saying Mitsuownes is a clown. He's a joke. He's unprofessional. He's freaking out on stream. Blah blah blah. And his phone is just blowing up. Then after the match is over, he says he's going to address everything, which I don't think he should have done this because this was the worst thing he could have done, which makes him look way worse than if he were have not done this. But then he addresses it after the set is over and tells everybody, basically, you guys have to hold that. It's, you know, it's my stream, my rules. You get banned, blah blah blah. Kind of freaked out, and that's when basically it became a shit show. Everybody just, it was a full on trolling spree. The chat, people were getting banned left and right. Everybody was saying it was a meme. They're saying, why is Mitsuownes acting like this? It was just, all this drama happened because basically, I'm going to say it was everybody's fault. Yes, Mitsuownes should not have reacted like that, but you can't blame him because he is a person and he's doing everything on his own. He's streaming, but he should have not have been looking at the chat, or he should at the very least have some mods in there to take care of the chat while he doesn't even have to focus on the chat because the chat was irrelevant. It's like the chat at that point, you need to make sure the tournament's running well. You need to make sure you're doing the bracket. He's doing everything right. He just should not have been looking at the chat whatsoever. Should have just been ignored. So everybody starts going, like, they started going in, man. Like, the trolling wasn't even funny. People were calling him the hard R. They were making fun of his afro. They were calling him the F word, F-A-G-G-O-T. They were saying he's an Aquaman wannabe. Why is he doing tournaments? Like, they were just going in. At that point, it wasn't even funny. It was just like, what is this? Like, this is horrible. It was so petty. It was embarrassing to be in there reading all this and seeing all this drama everywhere. Just because, yeah, he did freak out. And I'm not going to lie, I did laugh because it was entertaining to see that. And, like, he did kind of do what Tom does, you know? Like, he responds to trolls, he falls for them, and he reacts to that. And that's what caused all this. If Mitsuownes could have not reacted, completely ignored them, just focused on the tournament. I know it's hard to do because you kind of have to be like an actor when it comes to Twitch. Even though you're getting beaten on repeatedly in the chat by trolls, you just have to ignore it, focus on what needs to be done, and you can never give people a reaction. You can never let trolls do anything. You can never let anybody get to you. Otherwise, the second you react, it's over.
Okay.
They're going to instantly target you, and that's it. That's basically the whole story, though.
Can
It was
I play
a
devil's
mess.
advocate for just a second? One thing that you're kind of missing is to kind of explain Mitsuownes' like feelings towards why he might have been over the edge on this. Just to reiterate, Mitsuownes has been trying to do a lot of stuff for the community ever since MKX, and he's very passionate about everything, right? He's a very passionate person. So it's not without reason to think that someone who puts that much time and effort into their craft and into like growing the scene holds a tournament and has like an expectation of what it could look like if professionally made and professionally done.
Yeah, he wants it to be perfect. He wants it to be as best as it possibly could. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is all his fault.
I know.
But he shouldn't have reacted the way he did. But he has been part of the community for years. He does content. He's never had bad blood with anybody. He's always cool. He's commentating. He supports the scene. He loves the games. I would never thought I would see the day where this would happen.
Right.
And all of a sudden, in literally the span of 10 minutes, one mistake on stream, the entire community all of a sudden does not like him. They're spamming him. They're spamming him with clown emotes, calling him the hard R. They're just going in on him over something so petty. It wasn't even that big of a deal. Like, it happens. It's a mess up. Yes, it's not professional at all. He should have never reacted, but that's the only thing I'm saying. The only part where Mitsuownes messed up is he should have never been reading the chat. He should have never reacted. He should have never done anything. The mods, like the whole point of mods on Twitch are to make sure the chat is going well. Like, if you're streaming, it's not your job to pay attention to the chat 24/7. Like, you need to interact and stuff, but for a tournament, it's completely different. He should have focused everything on tournament, whereas what his whole attention should have been. But whatever mods were in there were not doing a good job. They shouldn't be mods. If you're a mod of a channel, you're not doing a job. Why are you a mod? That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And it's also the people's fault who made this way bigger than it was. This was not a huge deal like that. Like, things happen. Sometimes you're upset. Apparently he missed his YouTube day. He usually makes a video every day. He missed his YouTube day. He stayed up 20 hours for doing this. Like, he put so much work into it. And it was just him by himself. Nobody's helping him on the side. Apparently they didn't even have mods in the channel to help him. And it just became a total zoo.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I think the reason I wanted to have this, we scheduled this podcast, at least, I wanted it, is because, look, I don't even know Mitsuownes personally. I've never talked to him. I'm not even necessarily a big fan of his commentary, but
yeah, he's a very cool person. He loves the community and the scene
I
and the
don't want
games.
to drive people away, or as some people say, put them into exile, which is a ridiculous term, because he might have made one mistake. Like, I think that's completely ridiculous. He's done, we've all seen him put a lot of work into streaming, into commentating, into running tournaments, So why should a guy, and I agree with you, Rio, that he probably did overreact, but why should he be all of a sudden, he's not allowed, to be part of the community, or he should no longer.
He shouldn't be blacklisted or exiled or held
Exactly,
for
or should
public
yeah, or should
execution.
no
It's a
longer be running
mistake, dude.
tournaments.
I understand because I'm a streamer myself also. I make sure I never respond to trolls or react and stuff. Like, I understand the game, the whole politics behind it. Mitsuownes happened to make a mistake, and it happens to mostly everybody. You cannot put yourself in that position. Hopefully he learns from this going forward to never ever look at the chat or react in a way that'll, be used against him. It just, next time, it needs to be handled differently. But also, it's also the people's fault for making it way more of a big deal than it was. This wasn't that serious. He's acting like somebody, like Mitsuownes killed somebody at a tournament, and everybody's trying to exile him and remove him from the scene and blacklist him, and he shouldn't do. They were literally going in. They were saying his commentary is trash. They're saying his afro is ugly. He needs to cut. Like, they were just. It was horrible. Some of the stuff I seen by people in the Twitch community, I was like, wow, they really feel like this? Like, this is insane. I never thought I would read some of this stuff about Mitsuownes.
Bro, it's kind of crazy. Someone posted on Twitter about something about like, oh, he got lucky when he qualified for ESL or something like that back in MKX, and like he wasn't relevant this whole time. Might as well say it now. It's just like, damn. Yeah.
It's shamelessness. It's embarrassing. Like, I don't know how people could do this. Is drama really that important? Now, I don't know if these people that got banned got salty that got banned in the chat and they wanted to get revenge, because it seems like they really wanted revenge and they want to take him down and get rid of him. But it's shamelessness.
Look, I don't even see I don't see how it could be bad to meme him, because at the end of the day, everyone's gonna get memed. If it's like a moment like that, okay, fine. That's the worst it gets. But
when you got people calling him the hard R though and saying his afro is like, they're literally straight up attacking him.
I'm obviously gonna go last on this subject. Let me just tell you guys right now.
Well, let me actually, before Tom, because I want you to jump in next, but let me do say that we live in an interesting time right now, and I don't know if interesting is the right adjective to describe the situation, but people are not going to school, they're not working necessarily, they have a lot of free time in their hands, so what are they supposed to do? Well, one way to spend time is in other people's misery, or flaming them, as we've seen in this circumstance. So I think that plays a huge part. So people have more time on their hands and they've got to spend it somehow. And I think they're doing it on Mitsuo's expense, unfortunately. And I wish it pretty much my take on this is that I think he's done a good job. The game already freaking receives a lot of negativity as it is. This is a guy who's trying to do some positive things in the community. Granted, he made a mistake, and now he's quote unquote being exiled. It's ridiculous. And all of you on Twitter, we're not going to make any troll names. You got to keep it easy with the flaming. We've seen some, as Rio said, some extremely harsh wording, even some racist stuff out there. It completely ridiculous. Just for, from one mistake when he's done like 20, 30 things right. Tom, we all know you've been in similar situation on more than one occasion, to say the least. What do you think about this?
I think this situation is, Rio said something to me earlier. He said the trolls have all the power, so you have to be careful. In the MK community rules, the trolls dictate stuff. That's what you told me, Rio. Isn't that what you said?
Well, I said if you can't give reactions to people that are trying to troll you. You have to ignore them. And if they step the line and say something racist in chat, you ban them.
Let me tell you.
But you can't sit there and argue with trolls all day.
How it is in the rest of the world, and I'll tell you how it is in the Mortal Kombat community. Normally, in the rest of the world, people can say things, you can ignore it because the logic is nobody reasonable will actually believe this stuff. You know what I mean? Somebody can say whatever about you, whether it's about how you play, how you commentate, whatever. Like to put it in sports terms, Peyton Manning could care less what Joe Deasy says. Nobody really cares about that kind of stuff. As long as his peers respect him and the people that vote him into the Hall of Fame respect him, he could care less what some nobody says about his accomplishments. They could say he got carried to championships. He doesn't really care, right? Because nobody cares what Joe Deasy thinks. When he was a player, John Elway isn't going to say, "Gosh, Peyton, I was going to bring you back, but Joe Deasy said you're bad, so guess what? You're fired." But in the NetherRealm community, the Joe Deasys have all the power, and people just fall in line. What happened with Mitsuownes is he literally overreacted. He overreacted because basically he saw himself getting blown up on Twitter. It's a human response, right? He sees himself getting blown up on Twitter, and
And the chat
responds.
too.
Yeah,
It
and
was
the
both.
chat, and the chat. And it's a human response, right? You're doing this tournament, stuff starts to get out of hand. You say, okay, for right now, I have how many people in here? 1,000 people. Let me try to do damage control. Let me get rid of some people out of here, and then I'll deal with it. And then maybe he'll unban people later or whatever he's going to do, right? He sees he's getting blown up on Twitter, and it's like, okay, banning people didn't stop it. It just enraged them. They went to Twitter. Now, normally, according to Rio, he should ban them and say, who cares what they think, right? I banned these people. Who cared what
No, you only ban people when they cross the line. You shouldn't. If someone comes to your stream and doesn't like you, you don't have
if
to
you
ban
have
them. That's their
1,000
opinion.
people in a stream,
It's fine.
if you have it's an opinion. If you are the streamer and you have 1,000 people in your stream, and I'm guessing by his opinion, he felt.
Yeah, in my opinion, you shouldn't ban someone unless they cross the line.
I mean,
but yeah, everybody
again,
has their
I
own
wasn't
stream,
there.
own rules. If you want to ban somebody because they
I
don't
didn't
like you,
see-
go ahead. It's your
I
stream.
didn't see it. So again, I didn't really see it. So I don't really know all the details of what happened. I didn't see every minute as it happened. I saw a couple of videos. I saw a couple of moments. I didn't watch the whole stream. I'm certainly not taking sides here between his side or somebody else's side. What I'm talking about here is the bigger picture. Normally, let me give you a great example. Everyone thinks this is okay until it comes for them. I'm not going to call out anybody's name. I stream Mortal Kombat X. I should say, who cares about the score? There were players, yeah, right, whatever the score. Then we stopped streaming. It came for them. Now nobody streams with the score on anymore. But do you know why? Because they made that acceptable. People the top players are still kind of finicky. They pick and choose with their little clicks who gets to get away with what. That's a different subject for a different day. But they literally get to pick and choose whatever narrative gets set. And there are people who you should say, well, you know what? As long as the respected players in the community respect me, as long as my sponsor respects me, as long as whatever. But he's worried that he's getting blown up. His sponsor is going to take the word of people who normally you should say, who really cares what they think, and he goes into panic mode. I can certainly understand that. Really, I think ultimately what this is, there's no boundaries. It's literally like you can make whoever you want out to be whatever you want. Mitsuownes, who, sure, he certainly overreacted, but he didn't cross any lines. The people in the chat overreacted again. They didn't cross any lines. It didn't.
Yeah, two wrongs don't make a right. It takes two to
calling
argue.
him the hard NER. That was crossing the line, absolutely. I don't think anybody stands for that. But besides that, nobody really crossed any lines. It's just in the moment, people got hot heads and they got hotter and hotter and hotter. The problem is they're trying to make it now so that he can't come back from this. This was so minuscule, so irrelevant. Why would you want to bury somebody over nothing? There are people in this
because it
community-
has to be, because I guess the people that got banned want to extract their revenge. It'd be like, okay, you banned me from your chat, I'm going to try and ruin your whole career right now.
The greater question is, why do people who should have no say whatsoever, who should be looked at, and I'm not trying to say this is the case for his stream. I'm not trying to call anybody in that stream a nobody, but in general in the community, why do people where we would say, who cares what this troll thinks? Who cares what this person thinks? Why do those people have the power to have you lose your sponsor? Because guess what?
They don't have the power unless you react. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
React. There are people.
Yes. Look, yes, Mitsuownes did overreact, but if he were to not overreact for the second time in that promo wrestling video he did, they would have nothing on him. Like, it would just be like, okay, he got mad, this and that. But because he further gave them attention, this is what trolls do, man. They feed off this. They want attention. They want to see you get mad. They want to see you overreact. That's how it works,
Maybe you don't
man.
understand.
You don't feed trolls.
Maybe you don't understand how modern trolls work. Modern trolls don't care if the streamer reacts or not. All they care about is does somebody react. See, let me explain how trolls work. Normally, trolls used to go on forums and they would literally live and breathe to get a wall of text back. The troll's job is to say something foolish and frivolous just to get a response from the person. But of course, now that we're on streaming, instead of waiting for this wall of text, they get to see the reaction live. Unfortunately, streamers wised up to it, stopped giving trolls attentions, but trolls have leveled up their game. They say, wow, streamers ignoring me. But there's 1,000 people in this chat. If I can get 500 of them to start a riot, I'm cool with that. Ignore me all you want, bitch. I don't care. I'll come back every day. Every day I can get 500 of these 1,000 to riot. I'll be back here every single day. To Rio's point, that's where your mods are supposed to come in.
Yes, this is the whole point of
And
having
this-
mods in chat. You as a streamer, it's not your job to look at the chat, moderate 24/7. You have mods
what
for a
happens when
reason.
your
That's their job.
moderators See what happened because because your streamer banned somebody, and then the people that he banned went out for blood, and everybody sided with them. You're a mod. You say, I don't want to do that. I'm afraid to ban these people because I don't want them to come for me.
If you're afraid to ban somebody as a mod, you shouldn't be
Well,
a
then
mod. I'm
nobody
sorry.
should be a mod.
You need to find
Then
somebody.
this community-
You need to find a mod who is objective,
Then
does not care
nobody
about
should have
feelings.
mods
If you cross
outside
the
of-
line, you get
then-
banned. Is what it
then
is.
Nobody should have mods.
You just
outside of
you need to find. Look, NRS community does not have. Look, I'm gonna keep it real right now. NRS community does not have good professional mods. It's very
Promise
hard to
mods
find
are
good
pretty
mods in
He's
this
got some
scene,
good
man.
ones. Hairless is pretty.
Every stream I go to, everybody and their whole friend list is a mod because half of these people aren't really good mods. They're not objectively good mods.
It's not that. They're afraid to ban their buddies. The problem is the biggest trolls.
But then that means you're not a good. Why are you a moderator if you're afraid to
Here is
ban
the
people for
problem.
crossing the line
The
because you're a
most
friend? That
respected-
makes no
here's the problem.
sense.
The most respected players in the community are the biggest trolls. That's the problem. It's not the no.
Some of them are. Some of them are.
All of them are.
It's fine to be. It's fine to be a troll. It just depends on the kind of troll
the
you are,
problem
man.
is,
Like there's
when
trolls
you're-
that try to be
when you're-
funny, and then there's trolls that try to be vindictive and try to literally ruin
Again,
people's careers.
but
There's
what
differences here,
moderator-
man.
What moderator wants trolls headhunting them on Twitter so now they can't show their
Look,
face?
being a
on Twitter?
moderator is not easy, man. It's a job. This is why not anybody off the
Okay,
street should
my
be a mod.
point-
And that's
my
why
point
not your
is,
20 friends that know you should be
What
mods. You should
moder-
mods should be for
Look
people
what
that want to do
Mitsuownes
it.
is going through. What moderator wants to go through what he's going through?
Well,
This
he's
is why I
going
said, man,
through
all
not-
of this could have look, hold on. All of this could have been avoided and lessened if one, he wasn't looking at the chat. He shouldn't have been looking at the chat. I know why he was because he cares about stream and everything. But objectively, he should have only been focusing on the tournament bracket. Everything else he was doing, aside from the chat, he should just been focusing on it. He should have had a couple mods there focusing on the chat. But all of his energy and focus should have went directly on the stream, running the tournament, the whole production.
Guys,
He made the mistake of looking at the chat. It happens. We're all human. Then he got triggered about a chat. It all happens. Like this is like a wheel.
you're
And then he reacted, so it created this horrible chain reaction. That's basically what
One
happened.
day, someone's going to go to a tournament and they're going to spray everybody down because of something like this.
Dude.
guys.
That's
okay,
the
first of
unfortunate
all,
part. That's the unfortunate part. People have thresholds. You don't know how people are going to react, right? One day, someone's going to, I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. One day, someone's going to get hurt. One day, the wrong person's going to get picked on. And something really bad is going to happen. This was
I don't get the point of online bullying.
There were a few people
I-
that might have had a legitimate gripe. We don't want to say their names. Maybe some people might have had a legitimate gripe. Maybe they got banned by him, right? But then everybody began to pile on who shouldn't have had anything to do with this, right? And it became like a huge. Some people just said, "Now's my chance to get some quick shots in on this dude for no reason."
Yeah, that was kind of insane.
For no reason. There are some people who might be legitimately upset that they got banned. There were some people who probably got banned. Again, I wasn't there for the whole thing and said, you know what? I was just trying to point out, like, wow, you're not going to do this. You're kind of acting childish. And because I say that, you want to ban me? And they may be upset and maybe they have reasons. And it could be, hey, cool. But cooler heads couldn't prevail because this all got hashed out in public, right? So what happens is between those, if it was just between those individuals who got banned and Mitsuownes, I'm sure it could have been resolved. Hey, you know what? You're right. Maybe I did, whatever. And they would have said, you know what? I probably shouldn't have called you a baby. Let's move on. Let's have a good tournament. But instead, a bunch of fucking nobodies who shouldn't even matter decided to say, you know what? It's my first time here. I want to start shitting on this guy. Fuck it. Yeah, fuck you, Mitsuownes. And we start going racist on you and talk about your hair and your commentary and whatever. That's when it turned bad. and this won't happen anywhere else but here.
Well, let's have Zyphox. What were you?
No, I was
Jump
gonna
in
say
and yeah.
I kind of disagree on that. I feel like I've been a part of a couple different communities. I feel like it probably would have magnified to a lot more in some in certain others. You don't really know because you're not part of all those communities. There's
True.
tons of communities. So I will say that. I also dispute the
Well, I
fact
am,
that
but our community say those
trolls.
communities.
Zyphox, your mic is
Yeah,
a
it's
little
low.
low, by
Yeah,
the way.
you're
You're
loud.
talking kind
Yeah.
of far.
I also disagree the fact that like some of our top players are the trolls. Like they're funny trolls. They're not vindictive trolls. Some of
No,
them. Some of them.
some of them are, but not all of them. Some of them are.
Okay.
I
So
think a
But that's the
small
problem. But that's the problem,
minority.
though.
I
it's
think a
very
small. Yeah,
But
it's
that's the
small
problem.
minority who are malicious. You know,
It
malicious doesn't
very
mean
is
they
a
very
want to.
minority. It is a
Yeah, they want to.
minority.
very
It
a
is a
very
minority.
small,
But
minuscule, maybe 2% at most. Not
it is a
even.
minority. But the problem is, even if people are just joking, whatever, and feelings get caught up, like this situation here, right? It could have been settled between those few people and Mitsuownes. It could have been settled out between those two. Instead, you got 1,000 people who just want to pile on this guy for no reason.
They're
There are
wrong.
some,
No, Tom. There's no way to settle it when the people who got banned immediately took it to Twitter and that they,
Yeah.
severely criticize them. As far as only the NRS community doing this, no. Have you seen the Tekken community recently? They want to
Look.
hang. They want to hang Murray because he made a tracking health sweep for the Mishimas. They want to issue death threats to Ono-san because he buffed certain characters over others. What are you talking about? Literally, this is the internet. This is
Yeah, this is the online culture,
I-
man.
look,
It's, when people
It's
are
not just
anonymous behind the
NRS.
internet,
It's
they
not just
I understand.
it just
I understand that, but again, God, Rio, I'm not going to go into situations about whatever and how trolls, no matter how much you ignore them, can still get you taken off of things. But that's actually untrue, by the way, Rio. What you said. There are instances where people have done nothing and they thought it would go away, ignore it, and then all of a sudden someone says, there's
well, no, you're never not gonna get trolled. It's part of the online culture, man. No matter no matter what streamer you are, you're always
But
gonna deal with trolls
normally,
every
even
day.
if
There's
you
gonna
don't
be new
respond,
ones.
someone's not going to say.
But there's always a way to reduce it. Like you just don't react to them. You ignore them. If they step the line and say race stuff in your chat, you ban them. Get rid of them. I mean, it's your rules. You can do it how you want. I personally don't ban anybody unless they start being offensive towards anybody in the chat or whoever. But everybody has their own rules in their specific chat.
I got taken.
I'm just telling you how
look,
to
I'm
do
just
it, man.
telling
You
right
don't
now, I got taken
overreact
off
to
a
trolls.
project because of trolls. I never responded, never said a word, and I was removed from.
Okay, let's not act like you don't respond and talk to trolls,
did
Tom.
not-
Are we really gonna say that right
not
now?
respond. I did not say whatever, and it was like you got.
So if I go check your last past broadcast, you're not going to be
This is
arguing
back in
half of the stream
2013.
with Briggs or arguing with
This is
whoever is flaming you. Are
2013.
you sure?
well. Hold on, guys. We do have to wrap it up. You only got a couple
Yeah,
of
I don't
minutes.
want to go. My point about Mitsuownes is
go ahead,
it
make your
got out of
point.
hand. It got
Yeah.
out of hand. It got out
That's
of
right.
hand. Right. This is not something to be whatever. It got out of hand. Right. I mean, if you want to say the problem is both sides overreacted. That's really the truth, right?
Well,
The difference is him overreacting wasn't malicious. It doesn't carry any permanent effect, nor did he want to do anything to hurt anybody going forward. But the people that lashed out on him, it was meant to hurt him permanently, get him out of here and never let him come back.
that's true.
And that's a problem.
That is.
What did he do to deserve that?
Well,
Listen.
on that, yeah, Zyphox, you want
Well,
to
let me
say
say
the last
one
word?
more thing. I
Go
think
ahead.
we're forgetting. I don't think we're picking whether someone was at fault or not. But if it was anybody's fault, it was either Video Games Yo or Nivek. One of those people started a chain reaction because they skipped the intro. That's all I wanted to say. We found our culprits.
Well, I don't. Here's the deal.
I'm just kidding.
Nobody's wrong in this. Both sides overreact.
Yeah,
It happens
that's
sometimes,
right.
right? Somebody
That-
makes a
that's
mistake,
true.
both
But
sides
we don't
overreact.
want a guy who's put his effort and time, and I would assume some money, even though we do want to give, Prince Panther all the credit for donating.
Wakanda forever, Prince Panther.
Yes,
I'm on your side, brother.
that's right. So we do want to, but guys, it's not about what the four of us think. We want to know what you also think, because I think you guys can lead by the example. But so when thousands of you watch this podcast and you comment on Rio's YouTube channel, let me know what you think and start the good example. Please don't shit on this guy because he made one mistake.
Yeah.
Let's not call him retard. Let's not call him the N word. We really have to set a better example.
Yeah, and
And
again,
it's
because we're in the MK community, let me again say for the 1000th time, because you will twist my words, the internet, because that's what you do. Um, again, I don't think I'm not here sitting here blasting the people involved. I'm not here blasting Mitsuownes. They're both at fault. I think we can all agree both sides are at fault here. Both sides got overheated, right? One side says he got upset because they were doing whatever. The other side said, wow, how did you ban me? All I did was saying you were acting childish and you banned me over that. And then it just escalated and escalated and escalated. And because there were 1,000 other people involved who really had nothing to do with it, it really over escalated. And that's really what happened.
Yeah, it spread like wildfire.
Neither
And again, I'm not saying it's all Mitsuone's fault. Like I said, I respect him
neither
highly.
side
He's a
really
great person
did
for the
anything.
community. I don't want to see him gone at all. I just hope next time he does not react. Just ignore the trolls. Maybe get a couple mods that'll take care of the chat. That way he doesn't have to work about that. And this situation does not ever happen ever again.
all right. With that note, we appreciate you guys for listening because we're trying to keep this a little bit shorter than we don't want to keep this going on for
Yeah, we
too
have
long.
Dave execution off the stream, off the
So we
podcast.
will
Go ahead.
podcast coming up, another one coming up soon. So please stay tuned on that on some topics about the game, and we'll provide you the content very shortly. So we appreciate you guys for listening. I'll thank my co-hosts Tom, Rio, and Zyphox, and we'll hope to see you guys on the next episode of the podcast. Thank you so much.
Later,
Ciao.
guys.